in My Healing Kitchen. Ladies and gentlemen, this 3-day blood sugar reset challenge has been like all the emojis. Fire especially, mind-blowing, hearts. Guys, we're doing something, hey girly, we're doing something incredible here. God is doing the work, but the fact that He's brought us here and leading us, and yeah, all the fam in the kitchen today. So y'all gonna get to meet my whole crew over here. But just share in the comments this morning's session. If you missed it, you're doing yourself a disservice. Please go catch up.
It's wet, Betsy. It is wet, by the way.
Sorry, we're at the center of the home, the heart of the home. Everyone's in the kitchen today. But please share with our community, if you were there this morning, some of your greatest takeaways, what people missed, and let's just encourage one another to go make time to catch up and watch that session, because there were some wisdom bombs dropped. There was literally a strategy laid out for our individual breakthrough. And that's the thing. We are here because it's taken us years to learn this lifestyle. Well, I say that Delia and Graham, they got divine intervention and, had the support and guidance from the TV show. But we're here because each of us needs access to knowledge and understanding and wisdom to be able to walk out the breakthrough that God has for us. And so I loved what was shared this morning. And one of the things that I always encourage, one of my big principles in my nutrition practice is I'm the biblical wellness dietitian. So not only do I teach people biblical information combined with scientific information, I'm so grateful for my experience working in a naturopathic clinic. So this is, not even looking at scientific research or biblical research. Naturopathy in its purest form, of course you can bring in a more holistic approach, but naturopathy is a fairly holistic approach because it's learning from nature. And we know that God's wisdom is woven into His creation. And there's so many lessons. The book of Proverbs and even Jesus tell us to turn to nature to gain life lessons, right? And Jesus talks about the seed and the parable of the sower. And there's wisdom to be found in understanding nature and how our bodies are designed, but also how our bodies interact with the world around us. So there's so much to learn. And of course, we couldn't possibly share it in just 3 days. So I do want to say, if you were on this morning, I saw lots of comments saying, we need a whole week, a whole month together. Don't worry, there will be an opportunity at the end working through this challenge. We are going to be sharing an opportunity to work with us that we have designed with you in mind to support you with a divine blueprint. Like Terrence had mentioned this morning, we have tools and strategies, and we're committed to being led by the Spirit, and we want to be guides and give you the information and give you the structure and support you and come alongside of you. But also, like I was saying, in my nutrition practice, we know that God is the healer. We know that God's wisdom leads to different unique strategies in each person's life, because He knows each one of us is unique, not only with our biochemistry and how we process foods. Some people, maybe you've heard like cilantro. is a food that some people love it, some people hate it. And it's just in your DNA and the way your body reacts and those taste receptors. Some people, I love cilantro, so I'm not one of those people. I'm grateful because it's such a cleansing food. But with cilantro, some people taste like a soapy taste. And that's just individual biochemistry, and God knows all the reasons and how all that works. And I know scientifically we'll discover more and more about the ins and outs of our body. But all that to say, hold on tight because we're giving you so much information. We know that it's hard to process in 3 days, but we're here to serve you. We are here to see people get breakthrough and wins over the next 3 days. And yet when it comes to a lifestyle of living this way, it can be overwhelming to start it all at once. Oh, come on into my Healing Kitchen. If you would like to sign up for my email list or learn, I teach people about the difference between a healthy diet and a healing diet. You can check that out at myhealing.kitchen if you're interested in learning more on that side. But it's not diabetes specific, but it is lots of resources, and there's actually a way to an invitation to join my Facebook group if you're interested. But so you can, again, this is a free challenge. We're here for 3 days together. It's power packed, but just know that there will be an invitation and an opportunity to work more closely with us on building that blueprint and making those lifestyle transformation. It's powerful when we do it in community, and we have an incredible opportunity. Excuse me, I should have brought my water. All right, let's get into the recipe. I know this morning session went way over, so I want to be as quick as I can, but we've got our healing Greek salad, and I've already got my veggies chopped up, but I just want to talk about them again quickly. So I've got a whole head of romaine that I've chopped up. This is my portion. This is abundance, right? So there's no reason to skimp. Again, I mentioned this yesterday, but look at this. My bowl is huge, and it just keeps growing. My bowl is huge, and this is one head of romaine lettuce, right? So we don't like it's overflowing. If you're not able to eat this much, that's great. If you need more than this, you can have 2 bowls full. There's no restriction, portion restriction. Again, let me just say, portion restriction when it comes to leafy green vegetables, that doesn't exist. There's no reason to limit, especially if you're getting a variety. Now, I have heard of one crazy, that's not a nice word, forgive me, Lord. She just was not aware of the fact that spinach, and especially cooked spinach, has something called oxalates, which can be hard on the kidneys if you were to only eat spinach your whole life. But God has given us such a variety of greens. So that's my encouragement to us, is when it comes to greens, just switch it up and you won't have that risk. But the headline was, extreme. It was like, woman kills herself on green smoothies. Well, that was because she was not getting any diversity in her greens. But she took it to an extreme. So I'm going to put it out there because I say without limit, and I mean it, but you also want some diversity. So switching it up between romaine lettuce, spinach, kale, the collards that we have, the Swiss chard that we have, each one has a different nutrient profile, and I just wanted to give us exposure to all of them. And if you want, you can also, we're using those greens in our smoothie because they're so healing. We are flooding our bodies with healing nutrients, with healing fiber, with that. Fiber is what's also known as a prebiotic. So a food that not only is going to act as a broom to sweep and cleanse our digestive system. But also those prebiotic fibers, they nourish the probiotics that we hear so much about in our, it's great to have the probiotics, but probiotics, they are good bacteria. They are health promoting bacteria. They're like, the biotic is talking about life, like pro-life. We need them for life. God placed them there. But most people think of probiotics as a supplement. No, you need, possibly, maybe, there might be a place for that. But probiotics are the bacteria that are already there, and they need prebiotics, which are the healthy fibers. So again, you're going to hear these terms in the nutrition world with someone trying to sell you a supplement. Oh, you need a prebiotic supplement. You need a probiotic plus a prebiotic. That can be helpful. But when we're eating from the garden, that can be helpful for someone who doesn't get enough veggies. And maybe that's been you in the past. But here in this group, we have an invitation. This is a prebiotic food. Does that make sense? So prebiotic is the food that fuels our probiotic. And the great thing about eating prebiotics, which all fruit, all veggies, and fiber-rich foods, especially apples, carrots, really all to an extent, some are stronger prebiotic foods than others. It just depends on the fiber content. But all of these foods are feeding the good gut bacteria. And every choice you make to eat from the garden and fuel your body with prebiotic foods, those, what we call bacteria colonies. And can I just mention this? Because I think it's so cool. In the naturopathic world, and I was watching a documentary on gut health recently, and these non-Christian scientists and experts on gut health, they literally use the term our inner garden. Like, they see the variety and diversity and the way that it operates, and they see our gut health and gut flora, as it's called, as an inner garden. The more diversity, the healthier we'll be. Oh my goodness. So take that advice. This takes me back to the garden, right? Like I talked about yesterday. The more diversity we can get in our diet from the garden, almost like Skittles, except for not Skittles, just Jesus. But eat the rainbow. If you eat a rainbow every day, you will have that diversity that you need to be healthy and flourishing from the inside out. All right, enough about that. So romaine lettuce, the greatest two things about romaine lettuce, it may be because you can see it's lighter color compared to a spinach or a kale or any of the other greens. I love Swiss chard because it has like red compounds are a whole different health benefit. But the greatest thing about romaine lettuce, one is it's easy, it's more mild, but it's got a high water content, it's got high fiber content. So even if you're not getting as high of a vitamin and antioxidant content as some of those other leafy greens, you can mix them in. Like I know we have a local salad bar where it's mixed. It's like we get the romaine and we get the kale and we get some of those mixed greens that have some purple coloring. All those different rainbow colors, even in just our greens, have different properties, different components. So variety and diversity is a key component. But having the fiber and the water content is huge for being satisfied and just flooding our cells with water that flushes us out. We are going to add on some tomatoes. Tomatoes are best known for a phytochemical phytochemical just means a chemical or a nutrient that's been discovered in a plant. So it comes from a plant. It comes from the plant world. And I've got cherry tomatoes. So a nutrient or a phytochemical that has been discovered, and it's called lycopene. And lycopene is what gives it its red content, its red coloring. And so you can see this holds true in bell peppers as much as it does in what's the word I'm looking for? Bell peppers as much as it does in tomatoes. So what we see here is, sorry, I don't know that you can, let's try this. Yeah, so this has a higher lycopene content. That red coloring means it has a higher healing property from the lycopene. So knowing that, I actually recommend with bell peppers, I mean, we don't have any bell peppers this week on our, or these 3 days on our menu, but with bell peppers, I tell people, you know, it's fun to have a rainbow and there's no, it's not like you're missing out by getting yellow. It's not like, oh, this is lacking. But if you're going after healing, go for you're going to pay the same amount of money. So go for the highest nutrient content, right? The highest vitamin content. And that lycopene is great. It's great for eye health. It's great for skin health. And lycopene is really, really important for males. They've actually seen that it's related to sexual health in males and can, I can't say that, I can't make that claim because of the FDA, but having more lycopene, the lycopene in a male is actually stored in the prostate. And so it can be very protective against prostate cancer. So that is huge. We're using food as medicine here. All right, so let's do, I'm gonna throw on my cucumbers. I talked a little bit about cucumbers yesterday just because I love them. I eat them all the time. They're my kids' favorite veggie. Well, they're that and tomatoes, so they love this salad. It's so simple. Again, just that high water content and electrolytes that you're getting. Cucumbers are high in minerals that help to hydrate our skin and our bones. So these things are so beautifully important. You can find in onions, which, you know, use as much as you can, but do it by taste. If there's any ingredient that you're like, if I put that on my salad, I'm not gonna eat it, then you can totally omit it. You make this work for you. This is not supposed to be painful or miserable, but I like to keep it simple, but also have as much variety as far as healing ingredients. So we've got quercetin. This is for, it's actually an ingredient in a lot of high-end beauty products. Quercetin. I know of a gentleman who he shares health information as well, and he was saying that his grandma ate 1 raw onion a day, and even in her 90s, she didn't have wrinkles. So get as much onion as you can stand, ladies and gents. It is so, so healthy and healing for the skin. So I've got a ton of, you know, I've got as much onion as I think I can handle here on my salad. Like, this is really, really simple, but I'm trying to share it in a way that is fun and enjoyable, and just sharing this information about why we eat each ingredient hopefully will motivate us to keep at this long term. So I've got parsley, and parsley, any herbs. Herbs are some of the most healing foods on the planet. So they truly are medicine, right? You think about any traditional culture uses herbal medicine. Maybe you don't think about it, but I do. And so I use, because this is my focus and I'm knowledgeable in these things, I use herbs, daily at every meal so that I eat as much as I can. And I've built up a tolerance because parsley is not my favorite flavor. That and celery, it's just like, thanks anyway. Thanks for the offer, but not today. But once I started learning the healing benefits, the parsley is a blood building, blood purifying, blood cleansing food. It is, it has the ability to, any toxic metals that have been we've been exposed to. We may have breathed them. We may have been exposed to radiation, different things. And herbs have the power to bind to, difficult or toxic metals that we may have been exposed to even in our drinking water, then pulling them out, right? So pulling them out, binding to them, and being removed in the elimination process. So parsley is amazing for healing. And then, so when we talk about a Greek salad, I think of Kalamata olives. I don't know what kind of olives you picked up. I might have put Kalamata on the, but I usually like to buy the jarred kind. I find that the flavor is so much more preserved and authentic in a jarred bottle of olives. I've also got, these are Italian olives, but these are another type of olive that my family and I really enjoy. And you always want to, just double check on the back, look for something that has the least amount of ingredients, right? And so this salad, because olives are brined, which means there's a high salt content just naturally, as I put these olives, because they're brined, we're not going to add any additional salt to this recipe. They have plenty of salt. Those olives will be a nice pop. You can have, I don't know, up to 10 olives. Be a great source of healing fats in their whole food form, right? We talk about olive oil being so healthy, but once it's extracted from the original fruit and the original design, it can be dangerous, and it can be way too easy to get, a ton and just get it out of proportion. And we've already talked yesterday about the Daniel plan and the especially the Daniel challenge being the healing, that distinction between whole food, plant-based, and vegan. We don't want to be using oils as our salad dressing. So these olives in their whole food form, instead of using olive oil, we're using olives as our healthy, wholesome fat. So just a little upgrade there that, most vegans wouldn't have a problem. And I don't want to label people as vegan. I just mean in a vegan kitchen, which is proven to be, healthier than a typical American kitchen. But in a vegan kitchen, they're not going to tell you to take out the oils. They might tell you to actually lather on the olive oil. But in a healing kitchen, we're definitely going to be cautious with an upgrade from an oil, a processed fat, to a whole food fat. All right, so with that, we've got, and I don't know if you know this, but our brains are mostly made of fat. So it's not that fat is bad. It's not that carbs are bad. God made all of them, right? They're all good. If they exist, God created these things. And so we've got to learn, according to his wisdom, how to use them for good and use them according to original design and his purpose versus, what our culture has trained us. So I've got lemon here, and I was thinking yesterday, I was trying to share, but I got excited about something else. So thank y'all for, just trying to keep up with my excitement. And let's see, yesterday I shared that, and I was in the middle of something when I think someone's comment jumped up, and lemon. So this is something that really helps me, because if you think about it, bitter on the tongue or sour, these most healing compounds have these flavors, actually, the bitterness or the or sour. So sour lemon, right? That's got some acidity to it, but inside the body, it's actually very alkalizing. And alkalizing, these might be terms you maybe learned in chemistry growing up and don't ever think about them again. But when I learned the practical application of chemistry and food chemistry in my kitchen, it's so excited, I gotta share this. So sweet on the tongue, sour in the body. Sour on the tongue, sweet to the body. So if you can remember nothing else, just remember that. You want to find ways, you know, because of the processed food industry and the way our taste buds have been hijacked, it's, you know, we're naturally drawn towards those sweeter foods, and that's fine. You can eat lots of fruit. Fruit is sweet and delicious and healing. Like, it's great to like sweet foods. So if you have those sugar cravings, and I saw a lot of you guys are trying to control carbs, reduce sugar in your diet, the sugar, it's just about upgrading to a healing sugar found in the garden. So eat lots of fruits, and then when you want sugar, but also remember that if you don't fuel your body with the fiber and the bitter foods, oh, there goes an olive. If you don't fuel your body with these, I mean, they're just so nutrient packed. A salad is so healing that your cells are going to be starving for, you know, you're constantly going to be battling those sugar cravings. But I have found if I take that 20 ounces of lemon water in the morning, if I start with 20 ounces of lemon water and I allow my body to cleanse and heal and be purified and, you know, reset my taste buds for the day, literally this is day by day, I don't have sugar cravings. I don't, you know, and if I ever did, easy, go grab a piece of fruit. It's so simple. It's not like you have to prepare something. You just have to take that temptation out of your kitchen, maybe. And that's, you know, that's a difficult piece, because it's like we talked about this morning. We might have other people living in our home that are not on board with this. And so we've got to find ways, you know, and that is probably a unique strategy for each of us. But as much as you can, and it's, you know, especially as women, if you're a woman and you've got a family, you have more authority than you realize. Like, you know, I see it in my life. My kids have been trained to, you know, want and desire my guilty pleasures. Well, I've been working on breaking that cycle. So anyway, I am inviting you into this place of healing and restoration with me in the kitchen. We need each other. So I've got my lemon. So the lemon, like I said, I'm not going to dive into the alkaline versus acidity, but know that you want some alkalizing foods. All fresh fruits and veggies are going to be alkalizing more than they are acidifying. Which acidity, disease thrives in an acidic environment. Health or an alkaline environment is where our bodies thrive. Our blood literally has a range that we will die if it does not remain alkaline. So our body has all these processes to regulate and make sure it stays alkaline. But our American diet is acidic, and we need to get back to choosing the alkalizing foods to be healthy and healed and whole. So I've got oregano here. And you guys, I know there's a recipe, but I just kind of cook like this. A little dash of this and a little dash of that. So depends on what you're feeling. You can use the recipe as a guide. You can take it according to your preference and adjust. No problem. If you need more structure, then that's why I wrote out some measurements for you. But honestly, I don't remember the measurements I wrote out because I like to just do it according to what I feel like today. There we go. Got some pepper, lemon, and oregano. And so that's the thing. There are areas of our lives where God is very clear. His word is very clear. And we don't get to just do whatever we feel, right? But he's also created us with unique personalities, unique preferences. And that's where that, you know, we can celebrate individuality. We can make this work for us according to what we like and don't like, and that's fine. You don't have to like all the recipes. I would love to hear from you though. Please share if you're watching this live or on the replay. What did you think of yesterday's salad? Like it was simple. It was oil-free. How did that go for you? Sorry, I'm stirring my dressing here. And again, I'm not adding salt to this dressing. I'm not adding oil to this dressing. There are creative ways. And that's one of the things that I love to share in my Facebook group. It's just like creative ways and healing ingredients that we can use to bring spice and flavor and excitement to our food without having to go to those typical that we've been taught to rely on, the fat, salt, and sugar. And not saying that I don't ever use salt. I would love to learn how to be totally salt-free. I don't know. I like salt and a little bit, sparingly, a little bit. You have a question about stevia, another sugar substitute. So stevia doesn't work for you? Let me see. I'm trying to. Oh, stevia gives you a headache. Okay. Well, I'm not sure what you're using it for. There are some other options. Stevia is great just because it's a leaf, right? It's a sweet leaf, which I find fascinating. And but here's the thing. I have some, thank you, Cassandra. I have some, I'm gonna pour my dressing, and we're ready for lunch, guys. It's super, super easy, super healing, and so delicious. It's filling, it's satisfying. So with the stevia, let me get back to that. I wanna make sure I get all of my oregano and flavors. You can sprinkle it on if you want. I haven't really left myself space to toss my salad, but I might put it in a big bowl. So that's it. That's my lunch. That's your lunch. Hopefully you're following along with us, but easy, easy healing salad. And, okay, back to stevia. So stevia is, okay. Stevia. It's great. It's from God. It's good. Coca. Have you ever heard of that? Coca tea. Coca tea. My husband is from Bolivia, and he actually, people there chew the whole leaf. But if you take it and extract it, it's medicinal in its whole form. But if you take it and process it into a white powder, sugar, flour, cocaine, stevia. If you take these plant foods, whole plant foods, with the whole component that God gave us to be used for our good in the garden, it's in the whole food form, it's medicinal. When you turn it into a refined white powder, it becomes a drug. So be very, very careful. I highly recommend, if you can, make a plan and see yourself doing this, get rid of white refined foods. Anything that is a white refined powder is not a food. It is a drug. So I'm telling you this in love. And I know it so flies in the face of everything that we enjoy, but all of those foods are not good for us. And so stevia, I was back to your question about stevia. Stevia, I actually have the whole leaf in my pantry, and it's nice to steep it in teas. I've actually gotten away from baking, but if I bake, I do, I use whole foods. I use bananas, apples, dates, raisins to sweeten things, not sweeteners. So I know this is a lifestyle, like it's turning everything upside down, right side up. And so I know that it's so counter what we're used to, and there's going to be a time of transition, which is why I want you guys to stay tuned, and we want to invite you to join us for the next 21 days after the challenge. We're going to offer to continue to support you, give you an opportunity to invest in your health, invest in your long-term lifestyle transformation. So be sure and stay tuned. We'll be sharing more details, but that's my long answer to stevia. Yes, there are other sweeteners. Of course, there's honey, but you've got to use those very sparingly, right? The honey was made for bees. Of course, the Bible talks about honey, but just it's not on the Daniel plan for a reason. It has to be used with wisdom. And some of us, because our brains have been, again, hijacked by the processed food industry. Those taste buds and the dopamine response, that pleasure response in our brain, we have to have a period of cleansing and restoration. Like our brain can heal quickly, kind of like the taste buds. It's about 2 weeks of being off of that stuff. And then if you ever go back to it, it's like, oh my gosh, that is so sweet. Or, oh my gosh, that is so salty. Or, yuck, that Cheeto doesn't even taste like cheese. How did they ever fool me? You know, like you can get to a place where you're just totally turned off from it. But you have to give yourself a time period. And that's why we like to go 21 days, because not only do you get, you give your body that time to heal, but it's also overlapped with the research of how long it takes to form a habit. So you can begin to form a lifestyle and set yourself up for success, forever success, getting off the roller coaster, no more restarts, but do a reset for 21 days with us. We're going to offer, you can do it on your own. You've got all the tools. Like we've been giving you the information. We've been praying into this together, but you can also, we're going to offer to come alongside of you and support you in that 21-day period to be able to get off of the starts and the restarts and the stops and this, it's so frustrating to be in that cycle. I know what that feels like. And so anyway, so be sure and catch us tonight. Delia is going to be sharing more about the, okay, this is an exciting question. I'm sorry. Can I get a book on what you're doing, the healthy diet? When I create it, sure. Delia and I bet if Delia and I collaborate, we will get it done very quickly. Yes, so Melissa, you missed the salad ingredient. So if you don't have your challenge guide, please download it. You can find that in the unit section. But the salad has romaine lettuce, cucumbers. I used Kalamata olives, and I actually had a jar of green Italian olives open, but just a few olives on your salad, plus some, I said red onion, tomatoes, and then parsley and oregano and lemon juice and some black pepper. That's what this salad has, and it's delicious. Yay, Giovanni! I'm so glad you're doing this with me. That was my hope. It was hard to schedule this because I didn't want people across all the time zones to, have to wait and not get to tune in with us, but I'm so glad. That was my hope, was to find a way to do it together so we can cook together, pray together, heal together, learn together. Guys, community is the most precious part of Breakthrough, besides our heart posture and our commitment, our making it a priority. Community is the breakthrough. I didn't see that. I saw the comment that said something about my name. Oh yeah, amen. I know my book's gotta be birthed. Y'all be praying for me, because gotta get it out there. I know I have an important message to share, so I don't even know. Do y'all have any, what would I call it? I don't know. All right, guys, so this has been blessing. It's been amazing. I hope you enjoyed your salad. Let me know about yesterday's salad. We'd love to hear your feedback. Isn't it incredible how just a tiny drizzle, I found with my salad yesterday, with just a tiny drizzle of the tamari or the aminos. I used the aminos yesterday, but just a little bit goes a long way, and we don't need a lot. So we're here resetting our taste buds, healing together, cleansing. And don't miss Delia this afternoon. She will be live at 3 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Mountain, or 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Eastern. More diabetes education. Guys, this is going to blow your mind. You need to learn what's going on in your body, how God designed your body, and how these foods were designed to heal. So she's going to get a little into the science. We're going to get a little nerdy tonight. We're both so passionate about this, but I know she's got it organized in a way that's going to make sense and it's going to empower you. So you don't want to miss it. And make sure that you tag, if you're we got to keep each other accountable. So if you know someone who's kind of been active and engaging that's not there, make sure and tag your friends this evening, and we will see you later. Much love from my healing kitchen to yours. Thanks for that reminder. Do your homework. I want to hear from your voice. I want to see your face. What, if you were there on the live, you heard this homework assignment, but what is an area that consistently trips you up? What is an area, especially with regards to food and nutrition, that trips you up? Think of it, name it, label it, acknowledge it, and then make a decision to declare and decide to show up differently. And then I want you to share, how do you intend to practice it in your meditation time? Like maybe most of us are not in the practice of practicing, right? Of practicing using our imagination and seeing ourselves victorious. But that was the distinction between Caleb and Joshua and the generation of Israelites that stayed and perished in the wilderness. You and I are action takers. We are kingdom builders. We have a high calling on our lives. Whether your influence is small or great, in sense of numbers, but your influence, God wants to increase and elevate your influence. And he wants to give you this personal victory and breakthrough so that you can grow. And just like we talked about together, like that shalom is a word for victory and expansion. God wants to expand our increase he wants to expand our influence, because what did he say? Jesus said, this is all about him receiving glory. If we're playing small, then we're not playing kingdom. We're not playing for God's kingdom if we're playing small. I was on that business training I talked about this morning. The business training, these gentlemen were like, I don't know, billions of dollars, like so what I would say out of my league. But no, through that talk, I had to step up and elevate my mindset, because what he said is that most people's vision is way too small. This guy is not a Christian, but he gets these concepts that are woven into the Bible. And he said most people's vision is to, make my million, or, of course he's in the business world, take care of my family, my parents, me, fulfill my dreams. And he's like, what? There's 7 billion people on this planet. We've got to expand our vision so that we have the resources that can help and bless other people. So he has a ministry, or I don't know that he calls it a ministry, but a nonprofit where he helps the fatherless, and he gives them business opportunity, teaches them skills, and is bringing people out of poverty through, calling them to rise up and implement this stuff. And the number one thing that they talked about was that attitude, approach, and action. So we've got our heart posture, we've got our attitude. We want that intention to be, Lord, for your glory, right? This is about me being obedient to you. And two, the approach. It's back to the garden, right? We've got that lined up. And now we've got to take action. And so today your homework action is to share what you've learned, and to create a plan to begin to meditate for breakthrough and victory. So let's see those videos. I can't wait to see you in the feed and just hear your hearts. Guys, this has been such a privilege. It's such an honor. I'm so grateful for those of you that have made the commitment to yourself to step it up and step up to the challenge and really press in for breakthrough. And so keep it up. Let's keep encouraging one another, and we'll see you this afternoon. Many blessings.